I'm Sharlene.
And I'm Ronan.
As part of our NI Consumer Week, we thought it would be really important to do a piece on scams and raise some awareness about the different types of scams that are out there. Ronan, you're really the perfect person to give us some top tips today.
Well, the Consumer Council has actually been part of the ScamwiseNI partnership for 5 years, and it actually consists of 40 organisations, statutory, voluntary, community. And between all organisations, we try and raise awareness of scams in Northern Ireland and how people in Northern Ireland can protect themselves.
Be great to get your expertise then, Ronan, on this today. So maybe if we can just kick off, I'll ask you a few questions. So what are the different types of scams that are out there at the moment?
Scams is categorised into 4. So you've got your mail, phone, doorstep and online. So mail scams is fake competitions that are coming through the post, and where maybe consumers are then asked to pay for this in order to win their prize, which isn't the case. Phone scams is, for example, computer companies phoning up to say to fix your computer, or a lot of automated calls are actually coming through as well about maybe internet is down, maybe you're going to be fined, you owe money to HMRC, for example. Doorstep scams fall into either a rogue salesperson or could someone pretending to be from a utility company. And then online scams, that would be like through the likes of social media, as well as emails as well.
So just, I suppose, when you're talking about that, Ronan, there's just such an increase in online activity at the moment. Is there any kind of new and emerging scams, both online and offline, that you would see with the current picture of COVID, etc.?
Yeah, it's very, very sad to hear that there are actually scams about COVID and actually getting the vaccine. And what is happening is that people are actually receiving an email. One of the scams, it's hard to imagine that, for example, a vaccine, that the National Health Service will not charge for a vaccine. Also, as well as that, I think as more people are shopping online, it's just to be aware of the likes of the social media platforms or online bidding platforms. And what is happening is that maybe people are being asked to leave, to buy something and do a banking transfer. And that's one to worry about, because once you then leave an online platform and ask to transfer money because you're supposedly getting a better deal, you start to lose your consumer rights.
It's just awful, Ronan, that, as you say, that people are using sort of the vulnerabilities of COVID to actually get in there and try and scam people. It's just awful, but really, really appreciate you giving us some sort of information on that. Just with you talked about the types of communications we might get, mail, doorstep, phone, etc. Are there anything that we could be looking out for with these communications that might indicate, okay, this might be a scam?
Absolutely. I think one thing is to do the scam test, and that's something which the ScamwiseNI partnership promotes. And the first thing is, start asking yourself questions. Does it seem too good to be true? Are you contacted out of the blue? Are you asked for personal details, and is money requested? And if we take, for example, a romance scam, and I think the current climate, because people are self-isolating, maybe as we talked about, that people are using buying stuff online, but maybe for the first time that people are connecting through the likes of different social media platforms. So just be very, very wary of that. Maybe, for example, you've got a friend request from someone that you do not know, like a stranger. And what happens with this type of scam is they start to engage in conversation with you. And then maybe out of the blue, you're asked for money. Maybe it's to pay for an airfare, or maybe it could be actually to pay for a sick relative or medical bills. So that's why the scam test is so important. Just to pause, I think as well, Sharlene, sometimes what happens is that we get an automated message, and it's someone from HMRC. We go into a state of panic and we lose all rational thought. Or maybe, for example, you get this phone call to say that your bank account has been compromised, and we want you to move money into a different bank account. And again, what happens is that you don't think about it, you just think, I cannot believe this is happening to me, I'm being scammed. So the scam test just allows you to take a minute or two and just to go through the 4 points in it. And just think, right, this something not right here about this. And as well as that, our advice would actually maybe to talk to a family or friend and just say, this happened to me, I'm not quite sure what to do about it.
That's just such a useful test, Ronan, because as you say, scammers are just relying on that state of panic then, aren't they? So that scam test, the 4 steps you talked about, we have that actually on an information leaflet on our website that we'll give you the details of as well. We'll link that in just so you can download that for yourself. With the scam test leaflet, I know that there are some top tips that are there that are really useful in terms of things to look out for. There's so many on the leaflet that I wouldn't ask you to kind of try and give us the wall, but maybe you could tell us, Ronan, a few key things you think that would be really great top tips for people to take away today then.
Absolutely. What I would say is don't click on links in either emails or text messages. And that what happens is then you are directed to like maybe a fake website and you're providing your personal information. I think now as we're looking at maybe emerging out of COVID, watch out for travel scams. And what this is, again, where maybe you're looking at maybe holidays for the first time, you see this lovely villa in the south of France, and again, does that villa actually exist? And very often what happens is the scammers will then again ask you to transfer, do a money banking transfer, save yourself more money. So just watch out for that. Ticketing scams is another example. Again, it's an online scam. And when maybe, you're asked, again, tickets are very hard to come by, really low price, this is great, you're getting yourself a bargain, and it turns out, actual fact, that tickets don't often exist. So those are just some scams. I would say as well, just because they sound very professional and say they're from your bank or say they're from the ScamwiseNI doesn't actually mean they are. And I think we just take it at their word, for example, on the telephone, as we've talked about, when maybe, it's your bank calling and your account has been compromised, or they say that it's from an official body. So those type of scams. We talked as well about social media, about not accepting friend requests, and that I think is a difficult one as well. And then when we're staying online, don't leave these platforms because you may be buying fake products.
Ronan, thank you so much. That's such great information, and really, really appreciate you going through all of that for us. If you'd like to find out more, we've got a dedicated page on our website, consumercouncil.org.uk/scams, or you can call us on our free phone number if you'd like us to post some information as well. Thank you.